Let's look at how we use our shark vacuums. So the first thing I'm going to show you is you can twist this little arm right here, and then you can quickly and easily drop your whole cord off all at once. If you look on your vacuum, you'll have a little spot somewhere where you can pull your cord up and tuck it in. Some vacuums are different. This will hold the cord in place for you, so you don't have to hold it with your hand all the time. Next, we have the top handle. There's a button right at the back. Usually it's different on different vacuums. You can pull that off and do tight areas, stairs, whatever. And you can usually put any of your attachments right onto the handle. And I'll show you how to do this closer in a minute, but you can lift up the canister and take it off the base so you can carry both around with you without the base on it. Anytime you take off your attachments, make sure you stick them back in their special little holder. And again, at the back here, you can press the lower button and pull out the entire wand. This is what we do when we vacuum edges and corners. And it's also really great for doing high up stuff or stairs or stuff that's kind of out of reach. You might even use this kind of attachment to quickly vacuum out a drawer during a move out clean. And then we have this clip at the bottom. It's the same on almost every shark vacuum. This is the clip you're going to push to pull the whole canister off, move the base out of your way, and go about your cleaning as normal, and you'll save yourself a lot of weight on your arms. If your attachments get stuck, just twist them and pull. I'm going to pop my base back on here, put my attachment back on its holder. They're different on different models of vacuums. This little clip here, on some vacuums, you can use it and just pop it in to the vacuum there. It just holds it in a little bit more secure position. It doesn't matter if you use it, because sometimes you will end up having to take it out and put it in a few times. Here's my door. So here's our power button. When you push the power button down once, you will turn the vacuum on. When you push it down twice, you'll turn the power bar on. The power bar will only turn on when you tilt the vacuum back, and you'll see that shortly. So I'm going to turn it on once, and I'm going to show you that the roller bar is not moving. And then on the second push, when I tilt my vacuum back, my roller bar will start moving. This is what we use when we clean carpets. And turn it off. So 2 settings there. So now we're going to have a look at the suction. Sometimes it might be useful to turn your suction up or down. If you have a really high pile or long carpet, you'll want to turn your suction right down, because then it won't get stuck. Also, for really light carpets, sometimes you won't want to turn your beater bar on at all. That's the second click of the power button. Sometimes you'll want to just turn the first click on, so that when you go, your power bar doesn't, because they can be really powerful, you don't want it to start sucking up the mat. A lot of the times with these smaller entryway mats and stuff, bath mats, it'll start sucking the mat up with it. But you can also turn your suction right down, and you can use the beater bar. So just give it a try and see what works. We usually like to try to avoid the edges or the ends of the carpets, because a lot of the times these vacuums will just pull the whole carpet up, and it can lead to fraying and damage. So we just try to avoid the end during the main part of the vacuuming. And then one thing you can do is turn your suction way down and turn your beater bar off, and then go and start vacuuming the rug from a different angle. So I'll show you what that looks like in a second here. So this is with the beater bar on, low suction. And then what I would do if I needed to do the end is I would just put my foot on the end and gently pull it all the way down and all the way off the rug. And then I would do that going every way. So you need to pull it all the way off the rug and don't push it back up. One thing that I find very important is to keep everything neat and tidy, and it's kind of safe to have your stuff in an orderly manner. So I will twist up my cord and just hang it on my little hook there when I'm not using it. Please don't leave it on the ground when you're not using your vacuum. Now here's how we're going to pop off the main canister. So you just pull those two little buttons, pop that off, and then we'll take a closer look here at our filters. We have two filters in these Shark vacuums. The top and outside one is always a foam filter, and the inside one is a felt filter. These need to be washed at a minimum once a week. Throw them in with your cloth laundry and let them air dry. If you do a house that is really, really dusty, you might need to wash it a little more often. Here's a way you can keep your filters really clean between houses or each day if you're not washing your filter every day. Grab a dryer sheet and you can put a few drops of essential oils on it if you want to. That's totally up to you. It just makes the room smell super nice when you're vacuuming. And then just fold it over your foam filter as best you can and kind of shove it in there with the filter. And then after each house or every second day or whatever, you can just peel that dryer sheet off and you'll have a pretty clean filter going forward. And then your essential oil just goes on the dryer sheet and not the filter, because the essential oil will cause the filter to kind of clog up a bit. So you just snap it right back on there. And actually we're going to take it over and empty it out. So you have your bottom button, go to your garbage can, empty it out, press the bottom button, shake it out. Some canisters you may need to reach inside and pull some stuff out. First, before I do that, I usually open the top and dump from the top as well, because a lot of hair and dust gets stuck around that metal looking screen filter. So I'll pull that out with my hands. Remember that you need to empty your vacuum after every single house. If your vacuum is making a loud noise, you probably need to empty it, pop it open and look at it. And in some houses, you may need to empty it more than once. So when you get home, if you feel like it's time to clean your vacuum, at a minimum once a week, pull your canister off, rinse it out in the sink. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we just need to keep them looking good. Give them a really good rinse, both sides, and including the lid and the base, and even the underside of the canister that's underneath where I'm pouring right now. And when you're all done with that, just set it aside so it can dry really, really well overnight. You definitely don't want to use your canister when it's wet. So again, we can pop off the top of our vacuum. That's the motor. And this is the base of our vacuum, or what I call a beater bar, or your vacuum head. And we're just going to look at our brush roll here and pull out any junk that got stuck in there. Some of the vacuums now are self-cleaning, so they may not hang on to a lot of stuff. But if yours is, grab a pair of scissors and just snip it off. You can do this while you're in a house if you get there a few minutes early, or you can clock in to do your vacuum cleaning at home. That's no problem. Now, depending on the vacuum you have, it may have this option to unclip the beater bar cover. So you'll just turn the little unlock buttons with a butter knife or something. You can open it up, and if you have any clogs in there, that's one way to get them out. Also makes it a little easier to clean the brush roll. So this vacuum's clog free. If my vacuum wasn't sucking properly, that's the first place I'd check. I would also check in here. That's the part that attaches to the head. Depending on your vacuum, you may not have this super easy clip, but they all have a hose that pops out at this part. If you have a clog in your vacuum, this is another place to check. So you can turn your vacuum on or off when this is unplugged. And if there is no suction in that hose when you have it on or off, or when you have the vacuum turned on, then you know the clog is somewhere between that part of the hose and the base of the vacuum that we see here. You can also see if your clog is just in the hose. So as you can see, this top handle part goes from the handle down the hose and to the base of the vacuum, and doesn't include the wand where my right hand just was. So if you might have a clog in your vacuum, you need to pull off the top handle and check there, turn it on and off for suction, and sort of follow it through the vacuum to see if you can find which part of the vacuum has no suction. When you're done with your vacuum, always tidy up your cord really nice. Try not to get it twisted. And usually they have this nice little clip on the back to clip the cord all together and hold it there for you. Here's our attachments. This is what I call a crevice tool, or the pointy thing. This is for doing edges, especially on carpets and stairs. This is a stair attachment. We'll do another video for this later. And if you have one of these, this is an upholstery tool. We'll do another video for this later. You may not have one of these. And this is our brush attachment. And